So I heard that you want it all. You want the fulfilling career, the wonderful family, an abundance of money in the bank, and the hot body yaddy yaddy. What?
The hot body yaddy yaddy.
Yeah. Me too, girl. Me too. And I personally believe that I can have it all. And you can too, with the help of this video. Firstly, what defines a woman who has it all? To me, it's a woman who has a fulfilling and successful career. She has a healthy, loving marriage and a family life. She has health. She has beauty. She's respected and intelligent. She's just well-rounded and living a fulfilling and happy life. Okay, listen, babe. I need to say something about the women's self-help side of the internet for a second. We need to stop overly focusing on looks. If you want to live a certain lifestyle, you want to marry rich, you want to be wealthy, you're going to need more than just beauty. What is beauty worth if you are not a good conversationalist? If you don't have street smarts or book smarts, or if you don't have people skills? If you're not well-rounded, you cannot get ahead in life. We have so much to offer the world as women, so don't sell yourself short and let your talents and skills go to waste because you're overly focused on your appearance. If you're new here, my name is Naomi and I give women real advice on how to level up and live their best life. There are too many life coaches and gurus out there that are giving y'all some questionable advice, and I'm here to actually help you guys. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please consider subscribing. Okay, so some really quick updates. You might be wondering why I'm in a new environment. We actually moved cities. We live in Toronto now, and this is the first video that I'm filming in our new space. If you're curious, I posted a ton of vlogs and content over on Instagram of us selling our house and then moving to Toronto, and a tour of this apartment as well. So go follow me on there if you are interested. So I want to start by looking at a few case studies of women who have it all. One of the best examples of a woman who has it all, in my opinion, is Amal Clooney. Amal kind of became famous when she married George Clooney. They have 2 kids together. They seem like they have a really happy, wonderful life. But before she was in the public eye because of her marriage to George Clooney, she still had a very, very successful career as a human rights lawyer. And to top it all off, she's a beautiful, elegant, stunning woman. I think she's 47 years old. She looks so amazing. She's aging so gracefully. We can all agree Amal is an icon. Another woman I so much look up to is Serena Williams, for obvious reasons. She's one of the greatest athletes of all time. She breaks records in tennis. She has her business ventures. She's had such a decorated and successful career, again, without the presence of a man, but then she ended up marrying another very successful and respected man, Alexis Ohanian, who is the co-founder of Reddit. She's now a mother, and she seems to have a very happy home and family life. She's fit, she's beautiful, she's classy. Again, she's an icon. So some of the similarities between these 2 women is they are successful, they're talented at their own craft, they've gained their success before they decided to marry, and they ended up marrying successful and respected men because they themselves were successful and respected. And I also want to note that both of them married at a later point in their life, which we are going to get more into later on in the video. So before we get into the 8 steps in this video, I would love to quickly thank the sponsor of today's video, Ana Luisa Jewelry. If you've watched some of my other videos, you're probably familiar with Ana Luisa. They are a sustainable jewelry brand that makes really high quality, tarnish resistant jewelry. Their styles start at just $39, but the bang to buck ratio is so good. You get really high quality, beautiful pieces. Like, I have a huge collection of Ana Luisa pieces that I've had for, I think the longest one I've had is 3 years. I wear it consistently. I wash my hands. I don't baby my jewelry because I feel like jewelry should be able to withstand the wear and tear of everyday life. And Ana Luisa is so confident in their quality that they offer a 2-year warranty on all products. As usual, if the video is sponsored by Ana Luisa or not, I'm always decked out in my Ana Luisa pieces. I'm wearing some of my favorites today. So this right here is obviously my wedding stack, but then this ring right here is literally one of my favorite pieces of all time. It has this beautiful pave stone, it looks so elegant, and then my favorite cuff bracelet with a very slight curve to it, so it's not boring like those other gold cuffs. I really love that the curve adds a little bit of interest. And then I'm also wearing the matching pave twist earrings that match that ring that I have on. So pretty. I get compliments on these earrings all the time. And this ring, I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces they have on their website. But the newest pieces to my collection are these really pretty gold hoop earrings. I feel like these earrings are the perfect size. They're just the right amount of chunky. I actually wore them almost the entire time on a vacation that we went on recently. We were in the Caribbean for 7 days, and again, I don't baby my jewelry. I went in the ocean, I went in the pool. I like to look fabulous, even if I'm in the ocean or playing around in the pool. And the twist ring is also a recent addition. I love this piece. And guess what? Ana Luisa actually sells real diamond and solid gold pieces too. Again, at a very reasonable price. So definitely check those out. Click the link in my description to get a discount on your order. And let's get back to the video. So step number 1 is invest in high ROI skills. If you want to level up in life and make more money, find success in whatever industry you're in, you're going to need to be a little strategic about which skills you decide to learn. There are certain skills that have a very high return on investment, or ROI. These are skills that give you upward mobility and get you ahead in your career, in your business, and your personal development. And ultimately, it gets you more money. If you take a look at successful people, regardless of what industry they're in, you're gonna see an overlap of certain skills that they all have. So I'm gonna list 15 skills that have high ROI no matter what industry you're in, and this is in no particular order. Sales and negotiation, public speaking and communication, financial literacy, problem solving and critical thinking, networking and relationship building, tech savviness or computer programming, time management, sales and copywriting or content creation, social media marketing, adaptability, emotional intelligence, project management, knowing multiple languages, leadership and people management, and the skill of taking action. I think that last one is extra important, and yes, it is a skill that you can develop. The best part is you don't necessarily need to go to a formal education to gain these skills. You learn these skills through the school of life. Going to college or university can have a decent ROI depending on the degree that you get and depending on the school that you go to. Maybe going to a particular school opens up your network and you can network with other people that are very valuable connections. But in terms of the degrees that have the best ROI, it's the ones that you would typically think of: doctor, lawyer, engineer, business as well, again, depending on what school you go to. And a lot of these fields make good money right out of school purely based on the degree, particularly doctor, lawyer, engineer. But the doctors, lawyers, and engineers that get the furthest in their career and potentially start their own businesses, their own practices, are the ones that have a lot of those why do I have such a hard time saying high ROI? High ROI, high ROI. But the doctors, lawyers, and engineers that end up getting really far in their career and potentially start their own businesses are the ones that have those high ROI skills that I listed earlier. Number 2 is people skills / public speaking skills. No matter how talented you are or how groundbreaking your business idea may be, other human beings are the ones that will provide you with success. People are the gatekeepers to your success. No successful person has gotten there completely alone. Every successful person has had people in their lives give them opportunities or introduce them to the right people. They invested in their business, they mentored them, employed them, bought their products. You get the picture. I listened to this really interesting Diary of a CEO podcast episode recently where he had this woman on who was talking about the importance of getting people on your side and how this skill is the single most important skill to find success in life and in business. Like, think about it. If you have the skill of convincing people to do what you want, to marry you, to invest in your company, to employ you, to buy your products, you have the world in your hands. You can get whatever you want through that skill alone. A good example of what happens if you lack this skill is the founder of the Ring doorbell camera. So the guy who invented the Ring doorbell camera was actually on Shark Tank, but he didn't get any investments in his business. And we obviously know now that Ring doorbells are so successful. It was a great business idea. It was a good product, and everyone has Ring doorbells now. But the sharks on Shark Tank missed out on a huge investment opportunity. And why is this? If you watch the Shark Tank episode, you'll notice that The guy is just kind of unlikable. The sharks were unable to see how good his business idea even was just because he didn't have the skill of getting people on his side. And I highly recommend you watch that episode of Diary of a CEO. I can leave the title of it somewhere. So much practical advice in that episode. So the most exciting part of all of this is even if you're not the smartest, best looking, most talented person, it doesn't matter as long as you have the skill of manipulating people into doing what you want. I'm using the word manipulating for a lack of a better term. I also highly recommend the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Everyone knows this book, super popular. No matter if you are an employee, an entrepreneur, a stay-at-home mom, having people skills is so critical. Once you have the skill, we can move on to the next step. Step number 3 is nurture meaningful relationships. They say we are the sum of the 5 people that we're closest to. So curate your closest circle. Make sure that they are people that have similar values to you. They inspire you, they support you, they challenge you. It's especially good to have people around who expand your mind and show you what's possible. Basically, they teach you to dream bigger because oftentimes we only find out what's possible because other people show us what's possible. Try to network and befriend people who can open doors for you. This might rub some people the wrong way because a lot of people don't like the concept of a transactional friendship. But honestly, all relationships are transactional at the core, and it's not a bad thing. Friendships, relationships of any kind should be mutually beneficial. But basically what I mean by people that can open doors for you are people that can potentially introduce you to a future investor to your company. Maybe they can get your foot in the door for your dream job. Maybe they introduce you to a wealthy, loving man that eventually becomes your husband. The possibilities are endless when you build relationships with the right people. Because again, like we talked about in the previous point, people are the gatekeepers to your success. Number 4, bulletproof physical appearance. Like I said in the intro, physical appearance is talked about ad nauseum in the women's self-help side of the internet, but this list wouldn't be complete without it because physical appearance is the first thing that people see about you. Research shows that we form a first impression of others in less than 1/10 of a second. Scientists have also found that human beings develop the tendency as early as 3 years old. So basically, we are biologically wired to judge others based on appearance. And we can and should use this fact to our advantage because the way you look is how you get your foot in the door, then your skills and talents is how you stay in the room. Basically, you just want to look fit and healthy, well-dressed, tasteful makeup, and you always want to look put together. Whenever you step outside the house, put some level of effort into putting yourself together. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't necessarily have to do a full face of makeup or any makeup at all for that matter. You don't necessarily have to do your hair either. It can be as simple as putting on a nice casual outfit, not sweatpants, okay? There are so many options for casual, comfy outfits that still look so chic. You wanna have hair that looks neat, you wanna have your skincare on, maybe a little bit of perfume. If you want more ideas on this, I have a full-length video going into detail on how to always look put together on a budget and how to be comfy while you do it. You never wanna look sloppy because you never know what opportunities are gonna come your way, who you're gonna run into. And you also have to remember that you are always in the presence of yourself. Think about it in the perspective of your own personal brand. Do you want your brand to be someone that's sloppy, wears stained sweatpants in public? Or do you want your brand to be someone that always looks clean, you look like you smell good, you're always put together? For me personally, at this point in my life, I've built a reputation where my friends know my version of a casual outfit is still pretty put together. And I was not always like this. I used to be the person that would go out looking an absolute mess, hair looking a mess, lips chapped. It was not a pretty sight to behold. And I never felt good stepping out like that. And sometimes I would run into people that I know and it was just embarrassing. Beyond this, I think it's really important to learn to tweak your physical appearance to get certain results out of different situations. Like, do you want to be taken more seriously, or is it more beneficial that people underestimate you in a particular scenario? You can do so much social manipulation with your physical appearance paired with how you speak and how you carry yourself. Step number 5 is choose your partner wisely. We can't talk about the woman who has it all without talking about the woman who's burnt out from juggling it all. Being a mom, having her career, and taking care of her own well-being. This burnt out mom slash career woman trope is far too common because oftentimes it's the male partner in the relationship who doesn't do their fair share of the at-home labor. What you typically see is the husband has the luxury of focusing entirely on his career and his personal well-being, but the woman is left with almost the entire responsibility of being the main parent and managing the household on top of her own demanding career. But it doesn't need to be like this. If you choose a life partner who does do their fair share of the at-home labor, or he pays to help with the at-home labor, like a nanny, a house cleaner, that is when you can be a woman who has it all. But I know, it's slim pickings out there, so my honest advice would be to stay single until you truly find that person that properly pulls their weight in the relationship. Because if you're dating or married to someone who does not pull their weight, they are a liability and a distraction. Did you know that research shows women in heterosexual relationships do 4 times more labor than single women? Not just 2 times more, but 4 times more. Just let that sink in. Like, what does that mean exactly? Men are labor, essentially. Being single is significantly less labor than being in an unequal partnership. And obviously the stat only applies to unequal partnerships where the man is a liability because he doesn't pull his weight. If they are not adding to your life, they're taking away from it, okay? And outside of all of the gender-based issues of being in a heterosexual relationship, the person that you decide to marry, no matter if you are a woman or a man, is the single most important decision of your entire life. Your partner can make or break your life, your career, your finances, your health, everything.
What's the most important decision you're going to make in your life? What do you think it is?
Who you marry?
The spouse. The most important decision you make in your entire life is the spouse, because the wrong one is a disaster. The right one is fantastic. Now, I've had the right one for 68 years. Everything we've done together as a team. It's been wonderful.
This is really interesting because there's another big graph that was circling around Twitter that I saw that was relevant impact on happiness overall, and they did it by percentage. And like being very fulfilled with your work was the second highest impact, and having a very good relationship with their spouse with 4 times more impactful than having very good work enjoyment. And so I see that, and I 100% agree. I mean, I think there's one person that you're going to get more reinforcement from for the rest of your life, and I think it makes more sense to pick that person like you're making a long-term investment, not like you're buying a car.
My personal experience with this is I have a husband who enhances my life in so many ways, in every single way possible, to be honest. My career, my health, my finances, everything. I am a pretty ambitious person. I have big dreams, and there's never been a moment where my husband has discouraged me. Instead, he does the opposite. He usually encourages me to dream even bigger. He always shows me how I am underestimating myself. And then I contrast that with some people that I know, women that I know in my life who have partners that maybe chip away at their self-confidence or discourage them from following their dreams. And the thing that I see is just wasted potential for these women, purely because they have a partner that's either not supportive or they're just a handful as a partner. Again, they're a liability. These women put way too much time into being a caretaker for their boyfriends and husbands, and they don't have the time or the mental capacity to put it into themselves or their own career and their own ambitions. It just makes me sad to see these women that have all of this wasted potential. But again, until you find that person that elevates your life, stay single. But in the meantime, work on elevating yourself in your own life. The good thing about leveling yourself up and putting yourself into a higher socioeconomic status is your options of men are going to be at that higher socioeconomic status. So your options are just going to be better. Like I mentioned in the case studies of Amal Clooney and Serena Williams, they both were able to marry really successful men because they themselves were very successful. Statistically, logically, it makes sense that rich people date and marry other rich people. Poor people date and marry other poor people. You level up your options when you level up yourself. Another thing that I don't generally recommend is that women get married young. And it's because our frontal lobes don't develop until we're at least 25 years old. Young people are not known to make the best decisions. And you might think it's hypocritical if you know anything about me. I got married relatively young. Me and my husband started dating when we were 19. And then I think we got married when we were both 22, I think. It's been a while. Or no, we were 21. Anyway, is it bad that I don't remember what age we were when we got married? Early 20s is the point. We got married pretty young. And yeah, you might think it's hypocritical because I did get married young, but I was very, very, very lucky that the person I started dating at 19 was someone that grew with me and never held me back in terms of career or personal development. Like, you can get married at any age, but generally I do think we make much more informed decisions with more life experience behind us. We can move on to the next one now. Number 6, emotional intelligence. Learn and study yourself and get in control of your emotions. It is not hot or cute to be that girl that has no control over her own feelings and crashes out because something triggered her. Having a lot of control over your emotions, even in situations that are typically very triggering for most people, gives you such a huge advantage because you can really think through and be calculated with what your next steps are, what your response is. That way you're much more easily able to manipulate the situation, manipulate the people. Again, I'm using manipulate for lack of a better term. I feel like manipulate has a very negative connotation to it, but I'm not using it in that way. It's the simple fact that when you smile at someone, you're manipulating them to, reacting to you in a certain way. Or if you have a negative emotion around them, like you cry in front of them, they're gonna have a different reaction to you. They're gonna treat you differently. They're gonna behave differently around you. So get good at controlling your own emotions so you can figure out how to behave and get the best result out of the situation for yourself. Study yourself and figure out what your triggers are, what your traumas are. Life is too short to be controlled and sabotaged by your own emotions and feelings. Okay, number 7, stay fit and healthy mentally and physically. A big part of being that girl, that woman is being fit. Your health is literally your wealth. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Even if you have a successful business, if you can't, move around the world freely in your healthy body, what is any of it worth? Prioritize regular exercise, a clean diet, and sufficient rest. And nothing is more attractive than someone that looks vibrant and healthy. Health is literally the hottest accessory. Clear skin, snatched body, no bloating, no brain fog. Number 8, the last point is set boundaries and prioritize your time. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals. You are too busy building your dream life, so boundaries are crucial to maintaining your energy, your focus, and your sanity. Do you think the Queen, Serena Williams, has gotten to where she's gotten because she has weak boundaries? How about Amal Clooney? Do you think she has weak boundaries? Do you think these women let anyone waste their time and energy? No, they don't. So that is the vibe that you need to be channeling. All right, so that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love talking about this topic. I just want all of us to reach our full potential, and you have so much potential and talent and skills to offer the world as a woman. And I hope this video made you realize that you really can have it all. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you wanna see more. Give me a follow over on Instagram if you wanna see more behind the scenes, my personal life, and remember to check out the sponsor of today's video, Luisa Jewelry. Use that link in the description to get a discount on your order. When you support the sponsors of my videos, it helps me out a ton. I appreciate you guys so much for watching my videos, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.